now for a moment of prayer. Most gracious God, we do give you thanks for this day and for your presence that is always with us. Thank you for gathering us as this community, for these wonderful people, for all of the gifts that they bring, for all of the challenges they face. God, we are thankful that we are here in this place together to listen for your voice. God, help us to become aware of that presence, your loving presence that is always here, that we might be filled and overflowing with your love, that it might pour out of us as we go about living our lives each and every day. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so we've talked about, that was on vacation, right? 5 Sundays I've been away. I don't know if that seems like a long time for you all. It didn't seem like very long for me. If I tell you the truth. But when I got back into the office on Tuesday, after having arrived back into the country on Monday, talking with Linda Worley, I realized that I was not only to me, I found out I had somehow lost my mind in that sense, but she said, "Oh, why did you come back to work the next day? What were you even thinking?" I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, okay, hey, I'm going to go to Kenya for a month. 8 hours time difference, no big deal, right? Travel from Nairobi Sunday night. Sunday night, our plane was supposed to leave 10:30 or so, maybe left closer to 11. 8 hours in a plane to Amsterdam, no big deal. We arrived there at 5:30 Amsterdam morning, waited there for 3 hours, our next plane took off. 9 hours on a plane over the ocean to Atlanta. We arrived in Atlanta at lunchtime. 3 hours there, no big deal, right? And then 2 more hours to Des Moines. And then David came and picked Martin and I up from the airport, and everything was good. I felt everything should be just fine. But if any of you have traveled in an airplane ever, you know it's not very comfortable to sit in the same small space. I think they make those seats smaller and smaller every time they make a plane, because maybe we could fit just one more row of people in here, right? And I felt bad for Martin the entire time. So part of it was pity and sympathy that I couldn't sleep, and my legs would ache too, even though his were the knees that were jammed into the seat in front of him. But you can't sleep very well on a plane. And I realized I was supposed to be going to sleep again once I had landed in Des Moines. But whatever, 3 hours or so of sleep when I'm supposed to be sleeping again for the second night. I thought, this is fine. Martin and I got home and we struggled. We did our very best to stay up as late as we possibly could and went to bed at 9:30. And got up the next day. And I thought, okay, I can do this. It was 7 o'clock and I'll do some yoga. We're good to go. I needed yoga, right? I've been on the plane for a day. After doing some yoga, I thought, I'm really tired. Let me go lie down for a little bit. So I lied down for a little bit and got back up because I realized I had a meeting to go to. So being the responsible person that I am, I thought I'd better get to that meeting. And I went to the meeting and I thought, I'm really tired. The whole day I just kept thinking, I'm really tired. And didn't even, okay, to be honest with you, before this, I thought people just made jet lag up. I really did. I thought, did people just say that? That's just one of those catchy things that people say. Jet lag is for real. That's a real thing. And they don't just make that up to like scare you from an airplane, or people who are traveling just try to get your sympathy. It is real. And I was totally experiencing it. And Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, and Thursday night, Martin and I fell asleep watching TV on the couch and somehow managed to get ourselves to the bed. Martin will probably tell you that I was a little more aggressive in getting us into bed than he was, but he's not here to tell that story, so you get my version. And of course, Thursday came. The bulletin doesn't write itself. Some of you may think that this worship service just comes together, but it doesn't. David knows that it doesn't. You probably all know that it doesn't. But Thursday, I was just like, how am I going to do this? 5 Sundays I've been away. 5 Sundays, 5 weeks where I've just been relaxing. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to go to any meetings. I didn't have to count hymns. I didn't have to write prayers. And I sat in my office because I thought, Jessica, you know you're tired. You need to leave your house. You need to go to the office. Maybe you'll be able to get better work done. And I sat there in my chair. And I just thought, how am I going to do this? Where am I even? I was not here. I was not here. Physically, I was here. I was sitting up in my office, Newton, Iowa, 308 East 2nd Street North, Newton, Iowa. I was there. But my mind was all over the place. I was part way. Maybe I was still in Kenya. Maybe I'm flying over the ocean somewhere. Maybe that's a more apt description of where I was. But Sunday's coming. And so I'm supposed to have tomorrow off. Virginia needs a bulletin. Something needs to come together. So I opened the text again. And I read it, and I went verses a little before what we have here today. And started reading in the first chapter of Acts. And in the beginning of Acts, we're caught up, right? Everything that happened in the Gospels, everything that happened with Jesus. And now Jesus had died, he'd been resurrected, and he was appearing to people. Okay? He was appearing to his followers. And he was about to ascend. He was about to leave them. He said, all right, I'm out. Y'all wait for the Spirit. Go hang out in Jerusalem for a while. The Spirit's going to come to you, but I have to go. I would think these disciples who are now supposed to become apostles, those who have been sent out from students to those who are supposed to be going out teaching, preaching, proclaiming the good news, they listen to Jesus and they go and they gather in Jerusalem. And they just hang out together and pray. They hang out together and they pray a lot and listen for God's voice. I thought I was in a great state of disarray, right? Being gone for the month that I was and having traveled the travels that I had done. These people had just been following this guy for 3 years. He's crucified. He's raised. He appears to them and he says, all right, guys, I'm going. I think they have me on levels of disarray and perhaps being kind of lost, being out of sorts. I think they got me by a little bit. But I read that text and thought, Jessica, this is what you need to do. You just need to pray. So I tried to I prayed some on my own. I came in here, I came into the sanctuary. It was a little chilly because we don't turn the heat on during the week, and that was one of those cooler days. And I walked around and I saw all my stuff hanging back there. And, oh, right. I'm the pastor of this place. I even stood here and thought, remember, this is what this looks like. And then I went home, went to another meeting, and then I slept. But I had put something together. I thought, okay, every other Sunday, I'm trying to think, what do these people need to hear? But I thought, Jessica, you're the pastor. You get to decide what you do for worship. What do you need this Sunday? Congregational United Church of Christ. I am Jessica again. I'm not some being that's out there kind of floating around, lost, thinking, what do I even do? I'm serious. Ask my mom. She will tell you that I was like that most of this week. I didn't know where I was. My house is a big mess. It has started coming together last night. I needed to be with you all. I don't think I'm the only one who this holds for, right? This is what the disciples, soon to become apostles, this is what they did when they were in this state of disarray. And they came together and they prayed and they sang and they ate together. And they even got a little business done, right? Matthias is now the 12th apostle. Because they were able to come together. They were able to talk with one another, and they were listening. They were constantly in prayer with one another, seeking God's way for them. It wasn't about, okay, remember Jesus was just killed. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do there? But then he appeared to us. Let's try to make sense of it. They weren't just using all their logic to try to reason their way through this. I do that. Some of you might do that too. Yeah. I needed to stop. They needed to stop, and they needed to center themselves in the presence of God. And we know next week comes Pentecost, and their waiting is over, and I'm sure they wish they could be waiting a little bit longer, but then they're sent out. We are here together. This is a really great community. You all are really wonderful people. You know, I came back and Virginia said, hey, did you see the open door yet? Did any of you read your open door this month? Some of you did. And I come back to this letter saying, Jessica, you're so awesome. Okay, that's a paraphrase. Maybe I'm lifting myself up a little higher than that person did. But hey, it's good to have good self-confidence and self-esteem, right? And invited you all to come together because that person knew before I knew what I needed. And I thank you for letting me put this service together because this is a service that I needed. I needed to come and be with you all and to pray with you and to sing with you and just be with you. Fellowship with you. And perhaps you'll learn something, you'll take something away from this day when you're in one of those states that doesn't quite have a name because it's all over the place. That there's something about gathering together as a community of faith. There's something about opening up with one another and inviting God to be present in that place. That's healing. That brings about wholeness. That centers you. So that then you can go off in the direction